вот уже треть жителей США в возрасте от 18 до 24 лет верят, что Земля плоская, а почти 15% американцев в возрасте за 30 с ними согласны.
Никому не нравится чувство, что мы находимся на маленьком шарике, который несется сквозь Вселенную. Да, закроют программы с астрофизическим и космическим уклоном. Оставшиеся естественные науки, как биология, геология, океанология, археология и другие, должны быть полностью обновлены.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat!
He's an interesting guy, man, and, you know, he believes it, so. Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever.
The Earth is flat, that's news.
That's news. There we go.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is grinning like a possum eating a sweet tater. Why so happy? He has heard the news the documentary Behind the Curve will be part of the diverse lineup at the LA Film Festival in September. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, you're not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and if it is not July 31st, 2018, then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery goes a little something like this. Science is one thing, wisdom is another. Science is an edged tool with which men play like children and cut their own fingers. That's from Sir Arthur Eddington. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues 13, The Lost Nail. Got a few announcements. This is going to be a call-in show, but I want to give out the phone number ahead of time so that people have a chance to call in, because I've got a few announcements I got to rattle through, and they're important ones. Phone number to call in is either going to be 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998 or 720-897-6111. If you're in the UK, don't forget your country code and then dial 44203-393-2871. And if you're calling just to listen in, the rumor on the street is that number is 605-472-9131. So there you go. Okay, announcements. First off, this particular episode is going to be called, and it's not necessarily the theme for the show, but I've got to get this off my chest because up until now, I wasn't absolutely sure that we were being listened to with such great attention. And by that, I mean the Flat Earth community. But something has gone missing recently. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the YouTube scoreboard. And if you don't know what that is, well, it's because it has another name. It's otherwise known as relevant search results, otherwise known as search results. They're gone. I did not discover this on my own. Somebody let me know as it was being propagated through the browsers. And that is, if you type in any topic into YouTube a week ago, you could have typed in mashed potato recipes or George Clooney or whatever. And you could have typed things in. It would say search results equals whatever it was, anything from 50 to 50 million. You would have seen a whole bunch of hits. And as you guys know, I had been tracking this. I had been using YouTube as basically a scoring system to see how we were doing. And we started out at 50,000 relevant search results, and then we went up into the millions. And then they stunted the general filter so that you actually, to get the actual numbers, you had to go to upload date. Bob from Globebusters pointed that out to me a while back, and we kept climbing that ladder. 14 million, 17 million, 19, and then finally we caught the president of the United States. We were trending faster than just about anything you could think of, and we caught him when we hit about 20.9 million search results, and he was at 20.8. And I made a show on it. I called that. I mean, literally a Strange World episode. You can go out there and look at it. It's called Flat Earth Catches the President of the United States. And when shortly after I did that, they decided to stunt that number as well. And we went from almost 21 million down to 14 in an evening, which is impossible considering nobody complained at all about having videos deleted. They just changed the algorithm and said, okay, whatever their number is, multiply it by 3/4 of a full, of the total, 70, 75%. And we'll just let those numbers go. And I called it on that too. I said, all right, fine. You want to do that? We don't care. We're just going to keep. And our numbers kept going up. And then just within this last week, they threw out the baby with the bathwater and removed search results entirely. It's not like it says search results and then the number is missing. That line is now gone from the browser. Just gone entirely. So now if you type in anything, it'll just pop up whatever pages it is. It won't tell you how many pages there are. It will not tell you how many results. And you're thinking, well, that's not a weird, they're a big thing. It's like, no. This is where nerds hang out. Nerds and geeks and dorks like me. Search results have literally been around since the internet was created, since the first browser came up. As soon as you could search something, search results was always part of that. It's still there now when you go into Google. So you go into Google, pop up that big bar and type in mashed potato recipes or flat earth. It will show you whatever we're at, 300 and something million or 400 million search results in that. It's like pulling it out of that. Why is this important? It's important because they're listening to us. So rather than deal with us, keep patting ourselves on the back, and I know I was the one leading the charge here, saying that our numbers keep going up and up and up. Instead of dealing with that, and they just decide, let's just burn the whole thing down. So they rip down the scoreboard, and now Flat Earth can say that we wrecked it for everybody. So whether you're looking for makeup tips or the latest Tonight Show episode or whatever you're looking for, the search results are not going to be there anymore. It's just going to list pages of videos with no numbers attached to them, other than the hits, which is just in individual videos. So anyway, I thought it was very interesting. So Whoever's listening out there, who's been listening to this, I'm very flattered that the Flat Earth community has done this, has had the ability to shut down the entire YouTube search algorithm. You just threw it out because of us. That's fine. And I know it kind of sounds like Matt Boylan when I'm saying things like that. This is not delusions of grandeur. No. Coincidence is when you run into your neighbor at the grocery store. This is something bigger. And I'm going to stick to, I just can't wait to see what they do next. So anyway, there you go. That's the first thing on my list for announcements. Second thing is the Los Angeles Film Festival. The documentary Behind the Curve. Congratulations to the producers out there who have gotten them in. So you can look it up online. The Peanut Gallery alerted me to this just recently, and that is that Behind the Curve is now part of the Los Angeles Film Festival in the documentary category. I hope it does very well. I think it's going to be in September. So I encourage anybody in the Los Angeles area, if you want to see it, this would be your chance, because remember, it doesn't have a distributor yet. And it would be great. Go there. And remember, do not forget when you go there, this is not a flat earth movie for flat earthers. It shows both sides. Not only do they talk to the flat earthers for most of the movie, they also talk to an astronaut and a psychologist and a couple scientists and use a lot of clips. I mean, it's got some really great stuff in it. I love the exposure. I think it's a fantastic Trojan horse that can be put out there to bring in new members. But it is not a flat earth cheerleading movie. Just to let you guys know. So I encourage anyone in the Los Angeles area to go to that. And yes, Peanut Gallery also wants me to remind people that, and this segues into it quite nicely, that if you haven't watched the video or in the mirrors of it, Alda, one of the living legends of television. You guys probably know, it's like, well, does that name sound familiar? That's because he played Hawkeye, Captain Pierce on MASH, the television series from the 70s until the early 80s. And I do believe, because remember that was a different era, that the last episode, the series finale of MASH is still the most watched television episode in the history of television, even after 40 years. And it's never going to be beaten because television now is so fragmented. There's so much target marketing going on. But he also went on The View recently. He's been good. He's about 80 years old now. He looks good. And he went on several talk shows, but he went on The View. And he mentioned that he had watched a Flat Earth video recently, which kind of spoke to him, and he wants to know more about it. And I happen to have a little inside track on that. I know full well that the video that he watched was the Shane Dawson video that he did with his brother Jared. And you guys have probably seen it. It had rave reviews, and it had got 15 million hits in under a month. Fantastic exposure, even though Shane Dawson's demographic is usually kids from the ages of 12 to 19. It was still fantastic exposure to a demographic which we hadn't hit yet. So that was really interesting. So he has been casually invited to the meetup in Pasadena, which we'll get to in just a second. And I'm not going to say right now, I think it's unlikely that he will show up for various reasons. But if he does show up, great. I'd love to talk to him. I encourage others to talk to him, because that's his legacy that he wants to go out on. Is he wants to go out as this great communicator, this great listener, and how he's really receptive to a lot of ideas. And I thought it was fantastic that he mentions on The View, out of all the topics he could have singled out, he singled out Flat Earth, and he wants to talk about it. So the invitation's out to him. Alan, if you're listening, I hope you show up. It'll be great. It's going to be pizza and soda and good times. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people there. That being said, segue into the Pasadena meetup, which is going to be in 3 days. I will be there. I'm coming in from Seattle. Patricia Steer is coming in from Houston, and DITRH is coming in from the East Coast. And we're all going to be there on Friday afternoon going into the evening. I'm sure there'll be an after thing as well. So we'll start out at the park. If you want all the details, please go to YouTube and type in Flat Earth Meetup Pasadena. You'll see, in fact, I just did a promo today, and gold star for anybody out there that listens to the promo that I released this morning and tell me what movie that soundtrack was from. Gold star, if you can get that. And it can't be you, Peanut Gallery, because I know you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. What else? So after that meetup, I'm coming back to Seattle and then turning right back around and going to the FE 2018 Canadian Conference, which is going to be next weekend in Edmonton, Canada. So check that out. If you're in the Canadian area, that sounds funny. If you're anywhere near Edmonton or just up in Canada, please go. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And let's see, last of the announcements. Not to end on a down note, but this is kind of we run into this from time to time. If you were wondering, anyone was wondering out there why the Buzz Aldrin clips have been taken down recently. That is because even though that clip was from 3 years ago, somebody mentioned it to somebody, and I think it was just an individual. I don't think it was a corporation. And this guy was throwing out copyright strikes like candy. And so several of the bigger channels got a copyright strike, and I encourage anyone that did, do not delete the video. I encourage you all to appeal using fair use. It's easy to do. If you don't know exactly how to do it, you can email me, or you can do a quick search on YouTube. There's actually wonderful YouTube videos on it, but I can give you the exact verbiage to use. But it's an obvious thing from fair use, and that is, look, it's an amateur video where he shot it and he put it up online and he left it there for 3 years. Now, he hates flat Earth, and that's why he's throwing out copyright strikes. And there was several different ways he could have gone about this. And a lot of people don't know, when you go out and try to copyright strike somebody, you can actually just send them an email. You can say, hey, buddy, don't appreciate what you did there, kind of like honking at them in traffic. You can send them a notice saying, hey, if you don't pull this down in a week, I'll strike you. Or you can just strike them right then and there. That's the harshest option. And this guy decided to take that option. I've seen other people do it. He didn't do it to me because I didn't put the clip out there, because everyone else had gotten it up so much more quickly than I did. It's like, I'm not going to even bother. Did not think for a second, though, that guy would do that. So anyway, appeal it if you can. I think fair use applies. I've gotten fair use overturns on stuff way worse than that. So by all means, try it if you can. I think that is all for the announcements. And yes, Peanut Gallery did guess the movie from the trailer that I put out today, even though I used the soundtrack version, not the one from the movie, because the one from the movie has different lyrics. So there you go. Anyway, let's go to the phone lines and see what's going on. And I see you, South Carolina, but I'm going to pick up Canada first because it's Canada, and they have a special place in my heart. All right, Canada, somewhere near Ontario.
Hey, Mark.
What's going on?
Oh, not much, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, good to hear. So is the movie Wag the Dog?
No, it is not Wag the Dog.
Because that's my favorite Alan Alda movie, and I didn't watch the video.
No. Okay, sorry, a little bit of confusion here. The movie that I used the soundtrack for this latest trailer is not an Alan Alda movie. It is an 80s. It is an 80s movie, a very popular 80s movie. Did you even listen to it?
I'm sorry. No, my computer's been off for the past couple days.
You're killing me. You're killing me. You're going to take a guess at a song without even hearing it. That's like name that tune with no notes. Come on, man.
But Wag the Dog, that movie, I'm sure you've seen it.
I have. Wag the Dog was excellent, and Alan Alda was great in it as well. He after MASH, because he was again so iconic in television as an actor, and he won several Emmys for that series, that he could basically walk on to just about any movie role he wanted to. And he did. So he just kind of picked and chose, it's like, whatever, do it. And so I, had a great, he coasted his way through the last 20, 30 years, which I love. I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, but
the whole,
go ahead.
Oh, just the fake the war for distracting people.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Right. Oh yeah,
And,
Wag
I
the
can't-
Dog is an interesting movie in that it shows it's basically a blueprint of how you could create something from nothing. Literally create a fake conflict anywhere you wanted in the world with some polished editing. I mean, who knows? With that sort of editing, you could even create, I don't know, a fake terrorist group if you wanted to.
Yeah, lies in the media, but truth in the films. It's a screwy situation that we're all living in right now.
Exactly. So.
But yeah, that's about all I got, Mark. I just
Okay.
wanted to say hi because
Hey.
I love you, and I
that's-
might call back in if something else piques my mind. But
All right.
and I'm gonna try to figure out your song riddle.
Okay, yeah, it's just honestly, if you spent any time in the 80s in cinema, you will catch this really quickly.
Well, I was born in 1980, so I might have missed it.
Well, did you watch any 80s movies though?
Well, sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
You'll probably
the
get it.
ones that were designed. I will, if I do get it, I will call you back.
All right.
And awesome. Unless somebody gets it before me, then something
Right.
else will have to do it. Anyway, thanks, Mark. Thanks,
All right, man.
everyone watching. Love you all. Peanut Gallery, you're the best. Bye.
All right, see ya. All right, let's jump over to, we'll do South Carolina, and then maybe we'll go down to Tacoma. So let's do South Carolina first. 864 area code. What's going on?
It is just Jack, Cat Drafter. How you doing?
Hey, it's just Jack.
Just Jack.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I
didn't see the intro, so I couldn't guess the song. But
oh well, it's on. So the song I'm talking about. So I've done 3 promos for the Pasadena Meetup. The first one was LL Cool J going back to Cali. The second one was just a random 80s track that I can't remember what movie it was used in. And then the third one, I just happened to glance. It just popped into my head. I was going, you know what? I'm going to use this and see what I can get away with. So it's pretty fun.
I'll have to check it out. But speaking of meetups, I just want to encourage everybody to, set your own up, because I was in a chat earlier today and they were talking about Mark needs to have a meetup in my area, and I tried to explain it to him. No, you need to have a meetup in your area, and Mark will make a commercial for you.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
people need to start stepping out on their own and start making their own gatherings and, start flat smacking people. We had a big meetup here. Well, it wasn't big. It was big for me because it was the first one.
Right.
We had about 30 people, and we just met at a restaurant bar, and Karen B popped in for a couple minutes. That was very cool. Got to meet her for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, the meetup wasn't the important thing. The important thing is, I had a, whiteboard out front of the door. So as people were walking by, they were taking pictures of the whiteboard and getting flat smacked. And,
Nice.
even I walked over and I was talking to the bartender a little bit, and then the person, one stole down from the bar, heard what I was talking about. He's like, "What are you talking about?" And then I went in through my slideshow again. And, as I'm going through it, the manager of the restaurant was sitting a couple more seats down. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And then went back to the slideshow again, So it's, once you start getting, bold enough to talk about it, it's unknown how many people that you can reach. You just got to get bold enough to talk out,
Yep, I absolutely agree. It is the ultimate double take conversation starter, which is people they hear it, right? They hear it. I've heard this from people that are doing the YouTube autoplay. They're doing laundry or chores around the house, and then YouTube will autoplay. That's the default setting now, into whatever videos, and then they'll be listening to a flat Earth video for 6-7 minutes, and it's like, wait, what's this video about?
What did they just say?
Wait, what? Yeah, it's really seriously that's a T-shirt for you right there, which could say just wait, what?
So the biggest letters I wrote on the board was flat Earth. It's crazy until you look at it. So that just triggered them, because then they had to see, okay, well, what is it, what I'm saying? And of course I put in smaller letters, flat Earth clues and the Strange Guide to 21 questions, 200 proofs, and all that stuff. And it was great because, you know, all the flat earthers got to meet up, and they said that they were waiting for something like that to happen. And it was a great meetup, and we want to do it again real soon. And
Yeah.
I got to encourage everyone. You need to be bold. You need to get together. You need to unite. And that's the only way the truth is going to get out there.
Agreed.
But
we've done several hundred meetups so far in all parts of the country and different parts of the world, and there's other countries that are stepping up really well. But to reinforce what you just said, it is not hard to do a meetup. It literally you just pick a restaurant or a bar or an outdoor thing or whatever it is, and then you can contact me, or you can put your own video out there. I mean, if you have your own YouTube channel, by all means, but send me the details in terms of, you know, just all I need to know is where, when, who do they need to contact if they have more questions, and I can pump out a promo. You know, if I'm feeling pretty fast, I can do it in under 30 minutes. And it works. People come to these things. No, I will let people know if anyone's going to be attending it, like, you know, myself, like the Pasadena one where I'm going to go down with DITRH and Patricia Steer, or if Globebusters is going to show up with something, or Jaron, or other people. I will let people know, but it's great. You do not get any other feeling as cool as meeting flat earthers for the first time, other than, you know, in person. It's fantastic meeting all these people. So
absolutely. And you know, the other thing is that I was kind of leery about telling the restaurant manager, because that's who I talked to about getting the room. I just said, look, I got this meeting I want to get together. And, you know, he's like, well, how many people do you think? And I says, well, it kind of depends. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, I'm just trying this for the first time to get people together to talk about stuff. And he says, well, our room will max out at 40. And I said, okay, that's how many people we'll have. We'll have 40 then. And we got pretty close. We had like 30 people, but
nice.
It was really cool. And like I said, if I pulled in the other people I was flat smacking in the restaurant, it would have been 40. So,
nice.
You know, it's awesome. It's a great experience, and everybody should try it. And I got a shout out for Wes from Flat Earth News Talk, and for Zulu One, and definitely for Karen B. I enjoyed meeting her, and it was good times, and I can't wait to do it again. And everybody should do this. Get bold, people. Let's do this.
Right on. Good. Excellent. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's awesome.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Mark.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We are going to take a quick break here in just a bit. I just want to give out the phone numbers. And when we come back, I will try to pick up Tacoma, then maybe Minnesota, then maybe Pennsylvania. The phone numbers to call in are 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Or the old number's fine, too. They both go the same place, which is 720-897-6111. And let's see, the Peanut Gallery is saying anything. Did he get a copy of the beta tape, the Betamax tape from Karen? That's right. Karen, ex tennis legend and adult film star and author. She says so many things. She's kind of a Renaissance woman, really. Anything else? Hang on. The Peanut Gallery was also saying something. Phone number. Tell the welder to call the listen number. Oh yeah, good one. Yeah, that's good, because he always calls with the other number. Okay, if you're calling, let's do this. Oh crap, we're going to break already. Yeah, we'll do it when we come back. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 3.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are EFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 2 of 4. It is a call-in show. So you guys want to call in, best number would be 213-233-3998 or 720-897-6111. All right, let's jump over to the phone lines. Let's pick up, how about Minnesota? Minnesota up there near the Iron Range. What's going on up there?
Hey, Mark, Wesley Stage Flat Earth News Talk. Wait for it. Go.
Wes, week in and week out, you call into the show, and all you're really doing is racking up lawyer fees for me because we draft stuff up, we send it to your house, you don't answer the door, we nail it to the door, and you ignore. The words cease and desist mean something in this country. So, just get that out there.
Maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Anyhow, what's up, Wes?
Just had a quick notice that yesterday I did have Just Jack. Had him on my show yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, we're gonna run that into the ground. You think you and I run this little spiel in the ground? We've been going on 3 years. We're gonna do it again with Just Jack.
Just Jack.
Anyhow, he brought up a good point yesterday. He went and he found a photo of the same little girl that had the interview with Buzz Aldrin. And the funny thing is the dates don't add up. This little girl looks the same. We're talking a picture from, I believe it was 2018, and that video was done 3 years prior.
Right.
She doesn't look a day old. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute.
Somebody should do a video on that, because if that's true, that would be quite a coup to.
Well,
expose.
I think Just Jack ought to do it. He came up with it, so
that's cool. Yeah, if anyone can figure it out, and I understand if the father was. Here's the thing: if you're, and I don't know everything about law, but if you're a father and you take a movie of your young daughter with Buzz Aldrin and you put it online, well, it's fair game, hence the term fair use. Now, if somebody else was there, took a video of your daughter, kind of creepy style, then yeah, you couldn't put that up online because you kind of have to ask the parents' permission before you put something like that up. But if you do it yourself, because I know he loves his daughter and apparently he loves Buzz Aldrin, and he hates flat Earth, you can't get mad at us for using your footage and saying that, oh yeah, did he admit to something? Sorry, you can't. That's just not how it works. So it's not like we dug it up from somewhere or stole the video from you. It was literally up for 3 years, and boy, he went on that thing fast. I mean, fast, which means he's got flat earthers, either flat earthers for friends or acquaintances that know flat earthers, and said, "Hey, isn't that your?"
There was some... No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There was some theories that we were throwing around yesterday, and I had brought up the point that it could be possible that the minute that this was all set up because of the video being 3 years old, and because, hey, we could have found that stuff 3 years ago. I mean, you think we would have ran across it.
But that was mentioned to me as well, and that is 3 years is a long, long time in the flat Earth world.
Yes.
And we've scoured a lot of stuff, and this thing just all of a sudden was there. And I mean, we've looked up a lot of astronaut stuff over the years, and it's like this, really? We missed this? I was more surprised at that than anything. So
my theory that I came up with yesterday was that it's very possible that whoever did record this or had the rights to, when it came time, now 3 years later, and they wanted to see how many flat earthers would post this once that they released it. Yeah. And the minute they do it, we're going after every one of them, trying to get them out of there. That was one theory.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad theory. In fact, I've been kind of suspecting that trolls would have tried this beforehand. We just didn't bite. which is, yeah, you want to smack somebody for a copyright strike. Technically, all you'd have to do, kind of like, I don't want to bring up his name, but hell, let's do it. Remember when that Osman kid showed up at the corner of the volleyball court?
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
meetup?
the Flat Earth.
Right, and people were people walking up and filming him, and
Right.
I didn't post it. And that is because technically, if you film him and you put it up online, he has the absolute right to strike you. And so this could have been an elaborate version of that. It was mirrored quite a few times, but I don't know. I mean, we get strikes overturned all the time. So, and this one's going to be no different. I can't imagine, even if he claims that, well, it's the protection of the child. It's like, not if it's 3 years ago, and not if you put the video up. So, I just don't think anything's gonna. It's not gonna hurt us in the long run. We should be able to I mean, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I've overturned stuff way worse than that.
Well, hey, there's even one of your buddies that I know you watch him every now and then. Oh gosh, I can't remember his first name, but anyhow, the guy from Secure Team 10, he did the video on this too.
Oh,
and I'm just wondering if he got striked because he was trying to defend it, saying, "Well, it just
he was taken out of context and yeah,
and all that."
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
I know.
So anyhow, but maybe tonight. No, go ahead.
No, say it. Go ahead.
Maybe at the after show, just Jack can show you the pictures and the side by side.
Maybe
side by side. Yeah,
sure.
And then you can take a look at it.
Why?
Okay, what is peanut gallery?
You're right, and the peanut gallery. It's a short one. I don't know what it means exactly. It says, "Never miss a good chance to shut up." It's from Will Rogers.
Yeah, I think I get that one.
No, actually, believe it or not, I love that saying. There's been different versions of it over the years, which is don't ramble if you can stop something at a good point, get going when the going's good,
Okay, now I just have to say one thing to Just Jack.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that, okay? Relook the videos when you were on my show the last 2 times.
Really?
I had to bust his balls. He can talk.
Yes, he can.
Holy cow!
He's a good guest. Believe it or not, I understand the producer's mantra there, and that is better to have a guest that'll roll rather than to have one that answers questions in 1 or 2 syllables.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We were. Well, he's new to Hangouts too,
right?
And you know how it is when you were first new. Everybody was talking over everybody. And
oh yeah. No.
You get tamed down like when I was on Patricia Steer's show. I don't even when that was, but we all knew how to behave. We all took our turns, and of course she's got a ironclad hand, and you better. So no, I'm just messing.
Oh yeah, Patricia. She keeps her pimp hand strong. Trust me on that.
Yeah, she runs her show very nicely, and everything goes smooth, which I love it. Which I'm trying to keep the same format. Yes, I'm stealing it from Patricia Steer. To be able to get people to get that idea. You talk when you take a breather, someone's going to talk.
What do you, in fact, hey, let me end it with this. What do you tell a Patricia Steer guest with 2 black eyes? Nothing. They've already been told. Already been told twice.
They've already been told. They've already talked to her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
All right, I'll let you guys go. You can jump back to your show.
Thanks, man.
It's no longer the West. It's right back to Mark.
Got it. See you, Wes.
All right, later.
All right. Let's jump right over to 215 area code. Could be Pennsylvania, could not be. I don't know. Where are you?
Hey, it's Sean from Boston. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. I was talking earlier with the guys on ponchos, and we might have stumbled across something that could maybe make an Antarctic trip possible. I thought it was a really funny idea. I just wanted to throw it out there. But you know, there's all the restrictions and all that with the fuel and the food and everything else, right?
Yeah.
What about a hot air balloon? But wait for it, because that you can't really control. But you use one of those kiteboarding apparatuses and hook it up to the basket, so you can steer the thing.
Well, that's not a terrible idea, but it would still fall. Okay, before you get too far, I would highly recommend that you watch Rob Skiba's edited version of, and I can't remember the original channel that posted it, all the hoops you have to jump through to do anything down there, regardless whether it's a ship.
That's true. I heard it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous.
It's not only ridiculous, it's unbelievably expensive considering that you could get shut down. I mean, just to apply.
All the fees.
Oh, the fees are outlandish. I mean, ridiculous. And to where if you get shut down, you're out the money, and the process takes forever. And again, it's what you would expect: layers and layers and layers of red tape.
It'd have to be a super public GoFundMe backed by like B.O.B. and Kyrie. Like, hey, we made a video. It'd have to be something like crazy like that. But you know, and then you'd have to hope. You'd have to bring all your survival gear too, then, because you'd have to hope that there's land. Right. You'd have to just hope that there's an opening, another melting spot or something. But maybe the North Pole's a better trip because it's we know the distance there.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe that.
The North Pole would be a great place to start. And by the way, you couldn't use a hot air balloon necessarily down in Antarctica. You would be that's way too treacherous. You would have to use some sort of modified helium or a hydrogen balloon.
A blimp, like a blimp.
Yeah, like a blimp. Like a Goodyear blimp clone.
Oh man. Well, it was just an idea. I mean,
no, it's not bad. No, Airbus, I totally appreciate it.
Airbus is definitely the way to go. Airbus is the way to go, I think. But it's hard to find by sea because that's you have to hope there's a channel. You have to hope that the water goes through the right way. I think with Airbus, you're better off. Best bet. Let's get a GoFundMe going, people.
I like it. Any shout outs you want to give?
Obviously to Poncho Pete. We love him, and he's the man. And shout out to Snack and Jibby for running the Tribute Chan. Everyone come check us out. We're having fun over there doing our little researches and getting all our fun on with the singing and dancing and what all the hijinks that we have fun over there.
Oh, and speaking of hijinks, I have to mention to you before you go, because it's already crossed into some of my grapevines, which is the latest female addition to your clan.
Don't even.
Is she? Are you guys? Are you working on her as far as flat Earth? Or is she just?
They've been talking back and forth. I haven't been really. I haven't really been paying attention too much, but that's maybe for someone else to discuss. But like, they've been definitely having chats. They're trying to. She's a fencer. She's just a fencer. Just like it was Fencer Week over there. We're having a bunch of different people who normally we wouldn't let on that we're letting on because I don't know. There's been some people in the chat who are just like, let me on, and we're like, all right, whatever. We're not doing much. Let's talk. To this
but
person.
see how it goes. She's an amateur fencer. That's her thing.
No, that's not her name.
No, that's her profession.
That's a nickname. For someone who's on the fence on flat Earth.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were actually talking about.
I
thought you were talking about fencing.
I didn't coin it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it.
No, that's a completely different type. That's with swords. No.
Yeah. That's
just a flat Earth slang I just made up.
That's not bad. A fencer. Yeah, good. Yeah, because there's very few people on the fence, but I was just curious because I'd heard things that were happening over there.
We had 2 this week so far.
The what?
We had 2 on this week. We had 2 different people who are on the fence on this week. Just ask us random questions. It's good to get those almost globies, almost not, because there's a lot more these days of people who are like, well, what is this flat Earth? What is this? And then we're like, who are you people? And we're like, either get out of here or like, well, I'll answer these questions. And then as soon as they unwear their welcome, we're just kind of like, all right, on your way. But it's been fun.
Cool. It's awesome. Yeah. Never.
All right, but anyway.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say have a good show, though.
Thank you.
And that's all I got. I just wanted to bring up the air balloons. Yeah.
All right. Well, say hi to the Poncho and all the gang over there,
The
and
gang.
we'll try to drop in from time to time.
You should, man. You're always welcome, and we all love you. And everyone's pretty much listening in. They're like, all right, Sean, shut up. All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you
Okay.
soon, and have a good week.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's move right on to what could be North Carolina. 910 area code, drawn with Strange World, just you and me, and I don't know, whatever's in your mind.
What's up, Mark? Jake, North Carolina.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, man? I'm going to try to put a picture in your mind. This might be old information for some of you guys, but some of you may not have heard it. When I was young in high school, we used to play this game, the big push broom mops, or big push brooms that the janitor pushes around the high school.
Yeah.
So we'd take the end of the handle. And we'd extend our arms with our elbows not bent at all. And we'd try to lift that parallel,
Okay.
And it's hard to do. So
Sure.
imagine putting a 40-pound weight on the end of that
Okay.
shaft. And these youngsters at a university have taken a flywheel and put it on a rod or a shaft, approximately 4 foot long. And this guy's trying to extend it out, like we used to play the game. And then he tries to put it over his head. It's really hard. Can't do it.
Okay.
Well, they spin this thing at like 1,500 RPMs. They spin the flywheel on the end of the shaft. Then he's able to lift it right off the ground easy.
Right.
Extend his arm and just move it above his head.
Yep.
So if gravity would act on a 40-pound weight the way they say gravity would act, then this would not be happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent point. I had forgot. I had looked at those flywheel experiments. It was an older gentleman that was hooking up weights to different flywheels. And yeah, you crank them up. In fact, I think he used like a power drill just to spin it up sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what centrifugal force can do in terms of how you just have no idea what the power of a really fast moving gyro can do. And it's weird. It's almost surreal. In fact, if you would have brought it back less than a couple hundred years ago, it would have been called witchcraft, because no one would be able to do it. So because it looks like magic when you're doing it, but it's just physics, which is interesting. Yeah, good stuff.
And it really goes back to another point I made not too long ago about the balance of a tire, or the balance of a bullet, or the balance of an arrow going through the air.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got all this weight shifting on the earth and it's spinning around like this gyro or this whatever, you got it spinning around. I mean, this stuff doesn't work.
Right.
But all the guys with the YouTube videos disappearing, all that. I know I brought it up on the last show, but this is nothing new, guys. I mean, they planned this all along. They got everybody to take these little bugs in their house, which I'm talking on one right now.
Right.
And they're listening to you and they're watching you, and as soon as a good amount of you start talking about this stuff, they're going to shut you down.
Well,
FCC controls all radio waves.
Not exactly. In most cases, they don't have to shut you down entirely. I mean, people talk about 9/11 and Sandy Hook and Boston bombing and Pearl Harbor and JFK all day long.
Right.
What I always thought was strange was, and even if they did deal with some of that stuff, it was slow. They were in no hurry to get anything done. With Flat Earth, though.
Yeah, but you're bringing evidence. If
you
bring evidence, that's the problem they're going to have, and they're going to shut you down.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, the
said
videos
before,
aren't being
radio waves.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Radio waves, FCC. I mean, it's controlled by the federal government.
Sure.
I mean, let's get real. I spoke probably 15 to 16 years ago on a radio show and was interviewed here in my town.
Right.
And I spoke about Iran, Egypt, and Syria, and Turkey, and all these places, and they shut that show down a week later.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things they
so.
tend to be a little more trigger happy about. Lately, it's been false, it's like stage shootings and anything that has to do with the war. Although, is anyone even talking about the war anymore? I don't even think there's a thing. I mean, when's the last time you saw an ISIS headline? That's been a while.
Right.
So,
So let's keep bringing up evidence, like the moon shadow going from west to east instead of
Oh,
east
yeah.
to west, the plane disappearing. Let's bring up evidence, and a shout out to all those guys who call in with information, and a big piss off to everybody who calls in and just wants to hear themselves speak.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, man. Have a good one. I'll see you.
All right.
All right. So, phone number to call in, and now would be a wonderful time because the phone lines are now open. I do not have a backlog right this second. So, the number is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And I will take at least one more call before the second break. Who will it be? First one that shows up on my little board up here, I will take, no matter who it is, where you're from. I take all callers anyway. I believe it or not, when calls come in, I don't know if they're trolls or not trolls. I just pick them up. So if anyone's in the chat room feeling kind of talky, chatty, I didn't want to say chat twice. You feel like you might want to talk? By all means, call in 213-233-3998, and I'll give you 4 minutes. Seriously, shop around. You can't beat that deal. Or, and I'll say this to the Peanut Gallery, or I will read an email. Oh, wait, there's a quote from the Peanut Gallery. We do not know how gravity works. That's from NDT. Yes, I know that one. NDT and all mainstream science says the same thing, which is, as you know, there's Texas. And there's and Ontario, Canada. All right, let's pick up Texas first. 254 area code. What is going on in Texas?
It's hot.
It's you know what? I hear that climate change is a myth, but you know what? I'm not buying it anymore. I think it's getting warmer, a lot warmer. And I can say this because I'm up in Seattle, and Seattle is not known for hot days, and every summer just seems to be getting worse and worse. So,
well, I wouldn't say it's global warming, but climate change might just be how the system works.
Yeah. But is it?
We
but
don't know how the system works, and
Yeah,
it could just be how it's supposed to go.
It could be cyclical. You're absolutely right. Maybe there's huge warm patches, and then we go into a mini ice age and back. But if it's an enclosed system, if it's a pressurized system, and we do have, a car engine is just a little miniature furnace. There's a lot of them, billions of them running all the time, 24/7 in some part of the world. That's I don't know. I think we might be affecting stuff, and it took us 100 years to do it. But I
don't
think,
know. I can't say because I haven't lived 1,000 years to see the cycles and whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I like the fact that you're open-minded about it.
Because I don't have my headphones on. I usually do. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm open-minded to it. I don't think it's like I really don't know that we could affect it because everything that's put here, our Creator knew we would use and do what we were going to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can't really tear this place up beyond reprobate. It's like impossible.
Right.
Because he says he will end it. We can't.
Good point.
Anyway.
Good point.
So I'm not really worried about all that.
All right. Well, what else you got? You still got.
Works in the oil field. My husband worked in the oil field for like almost 20 years, and he did a lot of reentry work where they would like shut off a well because it got dry, and then they'd come back in and enter it a few years later because it was full again. What do you think about that?
I have heard whispers of this where the one of the interesting theories is that oil wells can be replenished on their own, and we tend to drain them so fast, like a lot of things, that we just don't wait for them, and when they dry up, we just don't think about going back. So yeah, it's an interesting question. If you went back to an oil well that was shut down for a few years,
that's what his job was. It was called a reentry. He worked on a reentry crew where they would go back to wells that they capped off because they weren't producing, and then they would go back years later and they were like brand new wells. So this is what I always thought when I was younger. And this was way before I was a flat earther or even thought about that stuff.
Right.
I always thought, the fumes from our running oil and all that would go up, and it would rain, come back down, filter back, and the earth would recycle everything,
Right. I like it.
And
all right, you got 30 seconds. Do your shout outs.
Oh man, you threw me off. I had something to ask you, but
There's
can't
no
remember
time.
now.
There is no time. It's 20 seconds.
Shout out to everybody that's speaking the truth and trying to find out what's going on, because y'all are all awesome. Everybody that's out there trying.
Right
Mark,
on.
you're awesome.
I don't know about that.
I mean, everybody that's out there looking, searching, putting it out there, kudos for y'all. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to do that, and y'all are awesome.
Cool. All right, we're going to music. Talk to you next time.
All right. Peace.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one. This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the scoreboard? Nothing. Alright, tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition ready. Stand by the floor on your base. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about me?
It's great to be fine.
What about Major?
What's happened? You see the string in my leg scarring.
What about Major?
I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. Tonight is a call-in show, so the phone number is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Let's jump straight to the phone lines, going all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida. 904 area code. You are on with Strange World. What's going on?
Hey, Mark. I wanted to comment on your global warming. I've got 3 reasons I don't believe it's happening.
Okay.
Reason 1, I live in Jacksonville, Florida. And when I was a kid, it was much warmer. There was one summer where there was 7 out of 8 days straight that the temperature went over 100 degrees. Nowadays, the temperature, I can't even remember the last day it's gone over 100 degrees in Jacksonville. I mean, maybe it has, but I can't remember the last time.
All right.
The second reason is, of course, temperatures are generally going to be higher because the cities are heat sinks because of all the concrete and stuff, and we keep building around it. And most times they're taken at the airport. And nowadays we have jets and big planes to heat up the airport, where in the past, 100 years ago, there weren't.
It's good.
Jet airplanes.
All right.
And the third reason I don't believe that is historically, you can read about the Vikings going to Greenland, and it was green back then. That's how come it was called Greenland.
Right.
And the Vikings settled Greenland and stayed there for a long time. But you can read through their history, and they even got like the last wedding ever held on Greenland. It finally got so cold in Greenland that their animals couldn't live there and their way of life couldn't stay there, so they all left Greenland. Well, Greenland is still cold. So
Right.
we know it was hotter in history, previous history, than it is now. And that was before we had, all these things that supposedly are pumping stuff into the air. So if it's warmer or colder, it has nothing to do with us. It's just part of the system.
All right.
That we don't understand.
All right.
That
Well,
was basically it.
there's an endorsement for the cyclical
that
model.
guy-
I like it.
Did that guy ever send you those 12 pictures or something he had?
Yeah.
About?
Where the 12 pictures he uses to convert people with. Yeah, he did.
Right.
And they're
Can I
sitting on my
send you
desktop.
an email and get it?
You can just email me. I've got them on my desktop. So if anybody wants the 12 pictures that our last subject matter expert is convinced that he can convert somebody in 12 pictures or less, I've got it on a little zip folder, and I can shoot it to you in an email in 2 seconds. So just email me at msargent23.
Okay, 'cause I was thinking of maybe presenting that at the next Flat Earth Meetup group.
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah. Happy to do it. I've got all the stuff that people ask for. I've got lined up on my desktop.
Because I'm the guy that always sends you the video that you graciously mirror on your website.
Oh, which video? I get so many.
The Jacksonville Meetup videos.
Oh yeah.
You do the Meetup.
Yeah.
And I'm the Jacksonville, Florida one.
Nice. That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, I love.
Anyway, thanks for talking.
Oh yeah. No worries at all. And if something else comes up, let me know. But don't forget to shoot me an email, and I will send it off to you.
I will definitely do that.
All right. Have a good one.
Good day.
Bye. All right. Let's jump over to. Geez, I already do this one. I'm not sure anymore. 864 area code. Have I already talked to you?
Just Jack.
Oh boy! Wait. I imagine
Hey, Mark.
I'm going to probably also be talking to you during the after thing as well, right?
Most likely, but I just I called in because I finally listened to that Meetup video. Did anybody answer the song question?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. I heard it in 3 seconds and I was like, clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. And it's from Revenge of the Nerds, and it's when they get all electronic music and try to get cool and stuff.
Yep.
Dude, I knew it like in 3 seconds.
Yeah, it is absolutely iconic. If anyone remembers the very first Revenge of the Nerds movie in 1984, I think, and it was when they were having the big fraternity sorority talent show. And the nerds, the trilambs, the lambda, which doesn't exist in Greek life, they did their cool little show, and it was really neat. Now, the version you heard was the one without Lamar's lyrics. It was the one they played during the credits at the end of the movie without Lamar's lyrics. So it was never intended for Lamar's lyrics. Apparently, they just kind of made that up afterwards. They came up with the beat, the riff. And then they introduced Lamar's lyrics. And little side note for you, real quick, which I thought was very, very interesting, was that Lamar, of course, in the 80s, they didn't have a lot of gay characters, right? And if you see the making of Revenge of the Nerds, he actually was as straight as could be. And he apparently was just, what they say, he cut a swath through campus. He was hooking up with all these women constantly, but yet he played the most flaming homosexual you could ever come up with.
Hey, they get paid, whatever, right?
I know, right? Yeah, but
so,
my point was, like, why not hire a gay man? There's a few gay people in Hollywood. Why not hire a gay man for that role instead of hiring this black kid and say, hey, can you play a seriously gay guy in a fraternity? Oh yeah, sure. It's like, what? Anyway.
So just FYI, I sent you an updated version of the slideshow because when we were in the chat with Wes, we found out that one of my slides had a big boo-boo in it. The copy and paste clouds in the original slide said Apollo 17. I just got that from somebody else when it was really the 2012 Blue Marble. The copy and paste cloud.
No worries. I already swapped it out, so I've got the
good
updated one ready to go.
And I cleaned up the longest photo with an AutoCAD cross section on the bottom so that people can look at it and visualize it a little easier.
Nice.
So
awesome.
yeah, check it out, guys. Get the live slideshow. All right, bye.
That's it. You're out of here.
Yeah,
right.
Sure. Unless you want to talk about something else, I can talk forever. You know me.
Hey, you know what? Who needs you? And with that, I'm going to click this little button here. See ya. And he's gone. All right, let's go to. I don't get to do that to trolls, so I'm going to do it to my friends. You know what? I think this is Ginger Sugarbush. Really great stripper name, but an awful name for a tall Canadian man. I think this is him. Ginger, is this you again? Ginger.
Hey, Mark, how's it going? So I tried to look it up, and all I got was Chic, because I was looking for Good Times.
What?
And yeah, it didn't work out for me.
What are we talking about?
The song, the 80s song.
Okay, the 80s song which was from no, not that one. Oh, okay, this is my fault.
I know. I figured that out pretty fast.
Yeah. The promo you were clicking on was one of the American conferences promos. So good times by Chic, CHIC, was a promo I used for the Raleigh conference, and I've also been using it for the Denver conference. Now the Revenge.
I'm sure it said Pasadena.
It said Pasadena. I can assure you it is not. Now if it was an app thing.
I listened to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to overspeak you. But I listened to it, and I heard good times. But when I searched it, all I got was Chic. That was everything that came up with 80s good times song, movie lyrics.
All right. It's fine. Yeah. I know which one I'm talking about, though. It's that I did 3 Pasadena meetups, three meetup promos, and the one I just did, I think it was this morning, had the track was from Revenge of the Nerds. It was the talent show song.
My second guess, just because I called you out of the blue to ask you about it, was going to be Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of my favorite 80s movies.
Wow. Yeah, me too. I don't know what song I would use from that, though. There was an instrumental track I could probably go. You know what? I'm going to look for tracks from that, because I've used stuff from Buckaroo Banzai and different 80s movies.
Oh, but that was number 2.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai is a wonderful 80s movie.
You pulled the trick with the glasses with the Buckaroo Banzai
right
ages ago.
Right.
And I was just going to say that one for the the third guess, just because fool me once, not going to fool me again.
Don't do the George Bush thing. Don't do it.
I'm Canadian. I can.
Fool me once, and then he pauses and he goes, shame on you. And then he was done. That was it. The second part he absolutely could not do. And so he goes, the point is you can't be fooled again. It's like, what? Yeah, I never use that saying.
But I also hope to be catching you in the after.
Yeah, probably.
But or at least the after. But anyway, when I did return my DVR, when I stopped subscribing to cable,
right,
the only thing I left on my DVR box was the shoe toss at GW, because it was too funny to delete. Do you recall when the guy threw the shoe at GW?
I did. I did, but you left that on there. Of all the things you're going to leave on, you left that?
It was the perfect situation, or perfect storm, what do you want to call it? I turned the TV on, and CNN was on, and they were showing this clip of some dude chucking the shoe at GW, and it was like
thing ever.
15-second clip, and that's all I left on the DVR when because I deleted everything else.
Wow. Amazing. All right, man. Anything else?
I thought it was great.
That is
no. Well, actually, yes. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, this buzz thing.
Yeah.
The buzz talking about The buzz
talking
admission,
about
admission.
now, if it's taken out of context or not, either way, it makes it sound like they never went to the moon, like he was talking in that sort of mode, and that's what people jumped all over the place. So what was the question about?
Well, just yesterday I do my my own simulcast thingy, and but I didn't. Somebody in the chat mentioned that there was the buzz admission, and I have again been offline for a few days, and I totally missed it.
So the clip in question was it was an amateur video of a father shooting footage of his very young daughter asking Buzz questions, and it was like just the three of them. There didn't even seem to be people around them. It was very, very quiet, and she was asking why they haven't gone back to the moon. And the way he phrased it, depending on how, again, if you were a flat earther or not, made it sound like they never went, or at the very least that they were never going back, or even if you're going to throw those two things out, that he knew why they hadn't gone back to the moon. That, of course, that's a big question in itself, is why haven't the Americans never gone back since 1972, if you believe they went in the first place? And he was stumbling around a few of those sentences, and the way he made it sound was that he knew, at the very least, it made it sound like he knew something. He was privy to information that other people didn't have. And we clipped that thing out and put it up online really, really quickly. And whoever made that video wasn't having it. So he decided to just throw copyright strikes out, which is a bad move, because we didn't steal this video. This was out there on its own, and it wasn't broadcast on a network or anything like that. It was just an amateur thing that he put up there, and I can't imagine it's going to stick. So there you go.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Talk to you later.
Okay. Hopefully
have a great day. And no, you did.
All right. Let's jump over to. Oh, hey, I'm gonna wind up for this one. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
I really wish I could sing. I'm sorry.
I can't really sing, but I can mimic. So I am literally channeling.
Love your voice.
Well, thank you, and I love yours, which is why phone sex between us is so hot. It's like just gonna get that out of the way right now. Wait, we're not on. We're not.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah. Wait, is that on air button? Is that actually flashing? Oh crap! I'm in trouble. So no,
I love it.
I'm mimicking when I do that. I'm mimicking Jeff Bridges from Starman, and anyone can look that up. When Jeff Bridges, who was driving in the car, he was actually singing Sinatra, and it was hilarious because it was like an alien trying to sing Sinatra from hearing it for the first time on the radio. He was just basically parroting.
Yeah.
So, anyway, how are things? What's going on?
Yeah, it's great. Not bad. Sitting on the front porch, gorgeous night. I actually got stars I can see. And people, it's the same stars I saw last year on July 31st at 11:30 p.m. Same position. So
are they really bright, like sparkling stars?
Yeah. They're pretty good tonight.
It could be a stroke. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
If you see a lot of blues and reds, do you smell toast, son?
No, I smell garlic.
That's
funny.
Know.
I don't know what that means.
that means somebody's potentially cooking Italian.
Too funny. I've been getting so excited for November. It's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, the November conference coming up. Did you catch that headline that so not only are we, and I suppose I can mention this, I don't think the producers are listening. So not are we in the Denver Film Festival, which is going to be just before the conference, but we're also going to be in the Los Angeles Film Festival, which is going to be in a couple months.
Now, are people going to be able to see it there at the LA one?
Yeah.
Nice.
So again, all film festivals are open to the public, but there are going to be judges and people in the audience. But yeah, flat earthers, all the flat earthers in Los Angeles that want to see the documentary, and I'm sure that that several several of the big. Well, I know that Nathan Thompson will absolutely be there because he's one of the subjects.
God, it's going to be packed.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So we will let everybody know before it happens, but it's going to be in September in LA. And yeah, I'm sure the Flat Earth community is going to make a good turnout. I mean, heck, we had a good turnout in Toronto. But that's Toronto. Got 6.
Nice.
But Toronto's bigger than you think it is. But it's going to be cool. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Hey, something interesting about tonight that you had mentioned stats. I was going to bring this up. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I keep getting the MUFON newsletter where they give you monthly stats.
Yeah.
I hey, you gotta see what the other people are talking about too.
Of course,
just so you know, because there's things that cross over, and it's ironic to me that most of the sightings, there's 548 sightings reported last month. 364 of them were in the United States. And then you get, 1 or 2 here in other countries, China, Turkey, Antarctica. Well, there was one reported, which I thought was very interesting. Who reported that?
Right.
And then by state, California, Texas, and New York are the top 3. And I just wonder if
population.
What's that? Yeah, what's that correlation? Is it purely
stats.
Population? We
that's
got more
purely
people
population.
Looking?
That is stats. California is a massive. So compare those 3 states to the electoral votes. They are, I think, they're the top 3.
Right.
They're just massive. So if you've got, it's just stats. So if somebody, enough people walking outside looking up, or shooting video footage, they will, somebody's going to run into it.
They're bound to see something.
Yeah, they're bound to see something, especially in California. Texas, because it's more wide open, you don't have as many trees, and New York because you've got this dense population center. But California, because they're pretty open, they're much more open-minded and relaxed, and they're looking up a lot. There's a lot of that whole thing. It's like, hey man, you see Jupiter? It's like far out.
Right. All right.
I'm not picking on California. I just did a lot of tech support, and
no, dude, that's not making fun of them.
No, they're just laid back.
Not making fun of them, dude. Absolutely not.
No, man, not at all.
No, I love everybody from Cali. They're awesome. They're the most mellowest, coolest people. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I got a quote for you.
Oh, right. I think I may have a quote too. Hang on. Yep, I do have quotes.
Okay.
Do you want yours first, or you want to give me mine?
Sure. Yeah. That's not the first time you said that to me, Mark.
Really? Are we going to get into that whole top-bottom argument again? Because
shoot.
I don't think
all right. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So I'll do my quote first. Okay, ready? Stop it. You can make me screw up. Okay, so your quote is, I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be. That's from Douglas Adams.
Ooh, I like that. Heavy. Very heavy. Boy, that could apply to a lot of us.
Right.
No doubt. Oh, that's a good one. Hey, I hope this is a good one, too. To different minds, the same world is a hell and a heaven. J.B. Priestley.
Yeah, that's good.
And I've just been thinking that lately because I am so mellow, so much more relaxed now that I'm looking at this and believing in, different options as opposed to a giant meteor that's supposed to hit every other day, And it truly is,
Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely changed the way I look at things.
Beforehand, I used to go into the news and, especially online, CNN's a perfect example where you'd have the business section, the sports section, and for those of you who don't go any further past that, there has always been a space section. You know, it's like, why? Of all these things, you've got business and sports and politics, and you've got space. And it's a dedicated section for news about space. And for the longest time, until I got into Flat Earth, I would look at it. It's like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, they're talking about a Mars probe. They're talking about this. They're talking something's happening on Saturn. Nowadays, I just look at that section and I literally, it gives me a visceral response of, why are you even here? You don't do anything. This section is worthless. It might as well be, just lump it in with entertainment, the entertainment section.
Yep.
Why do you have a space
programming.
section?
You are so right. Oh,
kills me.
God, you're so right. It's total programming.
But it's been there. It's always been there.
I know you got some more time, a little more time, and I know you want to get some more calls. I just want to plug a new show that Brian Burton, Master Gunner, Shona Collins, and myself will be airing Thursday night. Tonight, this Thursday will be our first show, approximately an hour and a half. And we're just going to discuss all kinds of topics.
Cool.
And I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be a good format. Shona brings a lot of different things to the table other than just Flat Earth. And I think that it'll be interesting to, at least I think so, to hear Brian and I discuss it with her.
Nice. Yeah, she's very
fun.
She's very intelligent. I have talked to her several times, and she's great.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Any shout outs? You got
say,
a minute.
As always, shout out to Mark Sargent. You're the man. Thank you for letting me call every week and be a part of this world.
Because I can stop.
And like that other guy said, I get to hear myself talk. That was awesome. I like that comment. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Karen, Michelle, Nathaniel, Uber Josh, Larry, Brian, Bob, Cammy, everybody. Oh my God, there's just so many people, and I love them. They're all great people. Awesome. Loving this. Can't wait for Denver, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Denver's
I'll since I'm a lame white Puerto Rican guy, I'm gonna say it's gonna be off the hook.
Hey, I'm just glad.
Just be crazy.
I know it's because you're older, but I'm just glad that you can go through these phone calls without using the word "brah."
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, dude, man, that's fine. Blah. Oh, good Lord. Even bro, I can take. Oh, hey, look, the music's coming up. All right, say goodbye.
All right. Love you, Mark. Keep it up.
Right,
bye.
Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World Part 4 of 4. Earlier in the show, we had a 3-hour Justin Bieber whine-a-thon, followed immediately by a Taylor Swift Hour of Power. But yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. Tonight is a call-in show, and we've got some calls that are coming in right now. And Peanut Gallery says, yeah, I got it. See, Peanut Gallery sends me, he wants to remind me to say the Joe Jackson line, but he doesn't, he keeps forgetting that there's this little bit of a time delay. So if I forget, it's already way in the rearview mirror by the time I get to it. Anyway, let's go all the way to West Virginia. All right, 304 area code. You're on with Strange World, just you, me, and whatever you're wearing.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Talking about clothes already, huh, Mark? What's up, man? You broke the system with Trump being the one who likes to win, and you called flat earthers on YouTube being above his numbers.
Yeah.
He didn't like that much.
No.
He didn't like it.
No. I am going to take. I mean, the flat Earth community, of course, gets most of the credit because they were the ones that generated the numbers. It's not like they were fake numbers. They were not like fake news. We literally had 20.9 million to his 20.8. Apparently, drawing attention to that, though, ruffled the feathers of somebody who made a phone call that said, "Okay, screw the algorithms. We're not going to deal with this anymore. Just shut it down. Just shut down the results entirely." And it's like, okay. I mean, I won't go into it right now, but I could probably come up with a verbatim argument of what happened in that room, where it's like, okay, how do we do this? How do we keep suppressing the numbers? And then finally, the nerds were getting to somebody, and they said, you know what, just get rid of it. We don't need it anymore.
Oh yeah, man. Taylor Swift, George Clooney, and Jennifer Garner are gonna kick your butt when they come out of the closet.
I know. It's the old saying. You've seen this in countless TV shows and movies. It's like, okay, Mark ruined it for everybody. It's like, what? Because anyone that wants to look up their numbers now can't. And you're thinking, there's got to be how many people out there to have use that search results thing for somebody. I hope they reinstate it. I hope that finally they get people that'll come back in and say, what are you doing? Why are you why did you do this? Seriously, getting rid of the search results, that's unheard of in the internet. It's never been done. So it's in some ways I'm flattered, but in other ways it's like, oh great, should I feel guilty about this? That George Clooney will be like, holy smokes, what am I have no ranking now?
I know, man. I know.
That's what I'm gonna make the title of the video.
I think someone will. The word will get around, and they'll have to pop it back up.
They got to, right?
Sooner or later.
You can't leave it out entirely. I mean, otherwise, I hate to say this, but I'm not okay. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go into Google now and start using the Google numbers. Because
no.
But they'd never pull that, right? And it's like, well, Google does own YouTube, so why? Anyway, what else?
Maybe.
Hey,
we'll I got just a real quick shout out to the cold footer Army Recon Scout guy.
Oh yeah, Delta 19, 19 Delta.
With who specialized, who knew about LRAS. Well, dude, you gotta come back, because I have someone real close to me. She or he, Department of Defense, you're not gonna figure it out. Go eat your heart out. I text him or him what was going on, and I was really excited about the interview you were going to do with him.
Right.
So come on, man, come back up. Live show. You can do a pre-record.
Well, I can't push them. Everyone knows they can do a pre-record with me. They can go anonymous if they want to. It's not the first time I've had somebody get cold feet. It's sometimes, as the saying goes, it gets too real for them. They get their ideas in their head. I'm not going to say that guys talk a lot of crap. I mean, there's a lot of punks that talk a lot of crap, but in his case, he's like, he gets the motivation, and then it's like, oh man, is this really happening? And
I know.
He just didn't want to deal with it, so that's fine. I hope he one day changes his mind, and if he does, I don't think anyone's going to give him any grief for it.
Yeah, come on, man, it'd be all right.
I know.
Well, I don't want to hold you up. I gotta go.
Okay.
Everybody keep it flat out there.
Right.
Keep it flat. And come on out of the closet slowly but surely.
Hey, the dance floor is got some really cool people on it. You don't have to worry about being the first person out there. Yeah.
That's right. All right, Mark.
All right, man.
Be good, man. We'll talk to you later.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's jump right back over to the other side of the country. We're doing a whip around coverage here. Let's go to 510 area code. That's out in California.
Man, what's going on, Pittsburgh? What up?
Impossible City, Pittsburgh, California. What's going on, Nathaniel?
Good. And not to be confused for LA, but this is the Bay Area. Most people know San Francisco.
I wouldn't convince.
Oakland, you know.
Oh, no. I'm not going to confuse the Bay Area with LA. Good Lord, no.
Oh, I know you know. I know you know, but anyways, hey, look, man, check this out. This is the reason why I called. This is the hype I'm on. Mark, I don't think you asking for too much, man. You know, I really don't. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things out there that we ask a lot of, but out of all experiments and stuff that's going on out there, I think one of the easiest things that you're asking for out of you trying to sit down there and talk with people, come on, man, at this particular point, and I know people like, what the heck is he talking about? Let's get this vacuum chamber done, man.
I hear you. And there was one guy that claimed to be the son of an astronaut that said he could get me into a vacuum chamber. And I said, fine, you know, set it up. If you can do it, fantastic. I would love to, you know, even though it will probably be the end of me. Because it's like, oh, hey, let's just get rid of this guy. All we have to do is put him in a vacuum chamber and say, oh, the suit's screwed up. As long as he signed the disclaimer, you know, I never married or had kids, so nobody's going to sue him, I don't think.
Yeah, we don't want that, but you know, but I'm just saying though, man. I mean, I think every channel, when they get a chance to, they need to really promote that. Like, look, man, let's get this right. Unless I'm wrong, you know, please tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, it should be fairly inexpensive, correct?
Oh yeah, dirt expensive. I mean, all you have to it take more time to dig up a suit, but you can use any suit technically because they all work identically from everything from.
Supposed to.
Yeah, any suit will work, and supposedly there's at least 500 to 1,000 suits out there. I don't need anything state of the art. But so give me a self-contained suit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and explain to me, or heck, you know what? I even settle, at least as a stall, I would settle for somebody explaining to me how exactly a fabric suit can work in a vacuum. Tell me what magical technology stops that suit from turning into a piece of wood. It gets so tight it turns into a snare drum. And that's it. That suit becomes a parade float. Tell me what technology you would use to counter that. And I'm a pretty creative guy, and I can't even think of it.
Look, that's even simpler. You actually even to go into the chamber. Come on now. Let's at least get this question answered. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know me, like I always say, I'm into the simple thing. I mean, Come on, man. Let's really talk about the suit, man, because the suit just cannot be overlooked. It just can't be. You know, I mean, experiments and all the testing and stuff we're doing is wonderful. It's fantastic. Let's keep it going. You know, but look, man. Let's start off on the ground. Something real like let's just go ahead and get this whole suit thing out of the way. Let's talk about it. You know, let's reevaluate it. Because it's just something that should just be looked over. Yep,
I absolutely agree. Yeah,
so that's my little rant, man. That's my little rant for all the channels out there, man. Let's smear this thing. And just to add to the whole dance floor analogy, look, man, this dance floor is getting so crowded now that you can go out there and not even know how to dance, and nobody will never notice. So just come on out here, get on the floor, man. It's plenty out here. You'll mix right on in.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. The dance floor, there's plenty of people out there now. It's just a question of do you think you're cool enough that you can go out there? And I'm just waiting for more.
Absolutely. Most definitely. I don't want to hold up the lines, man. Everybody keep it flat out there. Shout out to Big Brother Mark, the whole crew, man. It's a lot out there, man. But everybody keep it flat, man. Y'all have a safe rest of the week, and we're gonna keep it pushing. Peace.
All right, man. We'll see you. Talk to you soon. All right, let's jump over to Michigan. 313 area code. You're on live with Strange World. Just you, me, and I don't know, whatever's on your mind. Michigan. Hey, 313. Are you listening? Gregory Hansen. I'm calling you out by name. Gregory Hansen.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
This is terrible. I thought I was listening live.
You are listening live. This is not a pre-record, but did you just want to listen, or did you want to chime in with anything?
Well, hey, I'm actually in LA.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we've met at a couple of the meetups. I was at Salton Sea.
Oh, cool. Right on. You'll have to forgive me if I don't remember your name, but that you were at the Salton thing in the morning with us?
Yeah. I sat with you and Patricia at the restaurant afterwards, and I'm part of the It's a Flat Earth After All group.
Oh, right on.
With Aaron and Sasha. Yeah.
Right on.
Right, that's funny. Because I called the number because the player on TFR isn't working. So anyways, but you're coming in. You're coming in on Friday, right?
Of course, I'm coming in on Friday. That's the reason this thing's happening. Right. We're doing this thing, and Patricia's flying in, and DITRH is flying in, and we've got some special guests that are coming in, which I cannot confirm or deny who these people are. But we put out some.
Say it isn't so.
It's true. There's some special guests. In fact, well, no, I will say this much, and that is I invited Alan Alda to be at this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he went on The View and was talking about flat Earth, and it's like, all right, he's in the LA area, so sure, why the heck not?
All right, cool.
Yeah. So I imagine you're going to be there.
I don't really. Yeah, I will be there for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have much to say other than hello, and I'm surprised I was on the radio. So.
Oh no, it's okay. You're still on the radio, but that's fine. We so I will see you there. I will be there. We're doing it Friday in the afternoon, and we will be there a little early. And the people that shot that Shane Dawson video are going to be recording quite a bit of it, and they're going to be talking to people, and they want people's impression on flat Earth. So be prepared. Put on your guys, whoever's listening out there, whoever's going to be the LA thing, be prepared to put on your best, wow, I'm going to totally screw up this, best game face on, and give them your best stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, did you check out the video, the Return to Salton Sea?
I did. Some cool stuff. I look, there was no doubt in my mind. I'm more concerned about how National Geographic is going to spin this, because depending on the editor and the producer in New York, they're either going to destroy us or make us to be lovable kooks or whatever. But that other group, the blue shirts, as I call them, with Jim Underprep and all those guys that were out there. Yeah, I'm happy that they made a nice showing as far as they had the right people out there. But at the same time, that experiment should have never even been allowed to continue, because it was shot at the wrong time of day, and they waited.
Everything about it was not good. I don't know, and I don't want to be pessimistic. I'm not that hopeful about it, because so after the Salton Sea, when everyone was doing the group photo, I was down at the beach because I was listening to Underprep give his interview to there was somebody from a television show, and there was someone else that was interviewing him.
Right.
And basically he was just kind of bashing on, crazy people,
right,
saying science was pseudoscience, and they got into the whole denial of science, and he threw in a little thing about climate change denial.
Oh man.
And it was
the part that bugged me about Jim Underprep is that he was way outside of his wheelhouse. He is a guy that specializes in debunking fortune tellers and mystics and people that and paranormal stuff, right? He'll give real money to people that can produce paranormal abilities, and this is not anything new. And in fact, he's really, if you look into it, and I happen to do some research. Look, if you know the name, if you're old enough, he is a knockoff of a guy named James Randi, who was a guy who specialized in debunking people that said they had paranormal powers. And so, if he's listening, if you're out there, Jim Underpants, you are not James Randi, and I am not Uri Geller. All right. I'm just a guy giving out a message. I'm not claiming to bend spoons and break out of handcuffs and crap like that, right? I'm not Chris Angel, David Blaine, or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. He's way outside of his wheelhouse. Usually those guys go after individuals, and he's trying to attack an idea that's centuries, if not millennia old. So good luck with that, Underprep. Good luck. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, and seeing the video that they did with the lasers at night on the Salton Sea, I mean, it was ridiculously obvious that that you could see right across without an issue. But the thing about it is that I don't know that it'll see the light of day in terms of the previous footage that they shot. I don't know if they're going to edit that in there.
That's okay. In fact, I'm going to be talking about it in my speech up in Canada, which is, and I won't give it too much away here. In fact, I'll probably recite it after I go to Canada, which is, if science wants to play to their own audience, if they want to, turn it into their own echo chamber to where they only show their people their results, it's like, fine, we will win this thing by attrition. We've been running around your flanks at such speed for the last 3 years that if you're going to deny it and say, oh yeah, it's still beneath us, it's like, fine, we'll take most of the population before it's over, and by the time you organize a defense, it'll be too late. Standard movie plot stuff where it's like, oh yeah, by the time you, like, maybe we should address this. Oh well, you had a chance and you blew it. So. Anyway,
we'll see what happens. But I don't know about the National Geographic thing. I just don't have the best feeling about it because the exposure. Did you watch the news?
Go ahead.
Did you watch the news coverage from? There was a local news station.
The Palm Springs station. I watched it.
Yeah, and they threw in the whole climate change denial. They kind of put the whole flat Earth thing with that whole group. Kind of like, they don't know what they're talking about. Of course. And they just brush it off, kind of like,
which is why it spreads is the way it does, which is for every people, but they expose it to their audience. And you've got people, they'll just type it into their phone. It's like, what is this flat Earth thing? And as you know, we just keep getting this percentage of people. And because it's so infectious, people talk about it to their friends. So let's say we only got 1 out of 10 people that watch that news story to even look it up. But out of those people, how many looked it up and then got hooked? And then all of a sudden it's like, dude, I got something to tell you. And then because we've heard this time and time again. We are like this really cool social media virus. And I love watching it happen. It's like you can't defend against it. If you want to ignore it, you might be able to slow it down. But putting us on any national media spotlight, all it does, and you've heard me say it, it's like shooting wooden arrows into a bonfire. It looks like from a distance like you're doing stuff. There's a lot of activity happening, but you're just making the fire bigger in the end.
Right. Yeah. And you're right, because I got into it pretty much like everyone else. I saw a video. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. And I watched it. And, after the third one, I'm like, oh, yeah, what's going on here? So you're right.
Anyway,
and hopefully that's what it's all about.
I hear you. All right. Well, I'm going to pick up this last call. So, hey, thanks for calling in. And sorry I startled you there. Normally, I don't give out people's names, but the caller name actually showed up in the
office. It's a good thing you did, because I'm listening going, who is this knucklehead that's not answering the phone?
That's funny. You on the other end going, hey, buddy, pick up the line. And then I call your name.
Yeah, I'm sitting there listening like, I wonder who's from Michigan. I wonder if I know him.
killing me, man. That's great.
All right. I'll see you on Friday.
All right. See you on Friday.
Okay. Bye.
All right. I don't know. This may be the last call, depending. 704 area code. Have I talked to you already tonight?
Not me.
Uh-oh. Okay. What's going on, 704?
Hey, I'm from North Carolina. How you doing?
Doing well.
My pseudo name is Ted Smith, in case you're going to give out a name or anything. Hey, my uncle worked on...
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I love what you're doing. It's a great thing. Hey, I listen to you on the road. I'm travel sometimes, and I just put you on my YouTube and plug it in my radio, and I just listen. I'm like, wow, this makes sense. But I was going to tell you, my uncle, he worked on the Apollo mission. He actually fabricated the landing, wherever they landed in. He had fabricated it. Of course, he's in his 80s, and I don't argue with him. Right. But I'm like, wow, really? Really? He just doesn't add up. But I want to give this is what I say to people when people talk to me, are you a flat earther? And I'm like, well, and this is actually not what I believe, but this is what I say, because you have to defuse this, because if you say, oh yeah, I believe in a flat earth, they automatically just attack you and freak out.
Right.
And I say, this is my saying, you ready?
Yeah. What?
I say, I live on a globe, but I can't prove it.
Ooh.
And it kind of defuses the situation. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. I like it.
I live on a globe, but I can't prove that I live on a globe because there is no proof.
I may steal
and it kind of diffuses, and
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's good. I live on a globe, but I can't prove it. Or do you say I may live on a globe, but
I may live on a globe, but
I can't prove it.
I really can't prove it because.
Good. Yeah,
and
like
and
that.
Basically, I get this from we're flying at 6,000 miles, and I think a few weeks ago you were talking about somebody said fly a helicopter at the equator, and really you would be flying 6,000 miles an hour, right? Is that right? So I get this from your.
If you're flying against the spin or with the spin, because the equator is only about 1,000 miles an hour, which is still really, really fast because the speed of sound is about 700 miles an hour. So if you're flying,
if you're in Mexico and you're flying to the African continent,
then you're having to shift. You're having to deal. Well, yeah, you're going to have to fly really fast, and you're going to have to deal with the Coriolis effect as well. And there's a big question there, and I don't want to go into it because we don't have enough time, because we only got about 2 minutes left till the show ends. But the point is that if bullets, people will say that bullets will escape the Earth's gravitational pull, but they say that planes won't. And it's like, well, you're kind of getting into a gray area there, because there's a lot of slow bullets like the 45 cal that go really, really slow, and there's some planes that go really, really fast. So when does a bullet become a plane, and when does a plane become a bullet? And no, I've never seen a scientist break down a formula there to let you know how that works. Because if a plane is locked down by the gravity of this world, then it's got to take some things into account. And if a bullet does not, where is that? And it's never really explained. We just assume a lot of things. So anyway, you got 1 minute for shout outs, then you got to go. What we got?
Oh, I don't really have any shout outs, but I listen to you all the time. But my shout out is, if you're sitting at Thanksgiving table, you're eating Thanksgiving dinner, and someone says you're a flat earther, and you can simply say, well, I think I live on a globe, but I can't prove it.
Yeah.
And that'll just eliminate the whole argument.
Yeah,
but
that's how
I appreciate your show, man.
Hey,
peace out, man.
All right, have a good one.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye. All right, that's the last call for this evening, and some quick reminders because I got 20 seconds left. The Pasadena Meetup this Friday. Patricia Steer, DITRH, me. All you have to do is type in Flat Earth Meetup Pasadena into YouTube. You will find that. The Los Angeles Film Festival is coming up in September. Behind the Curve will be at that, and then the Flat Earth 2018 Canadian Conference in Edmonton. It's coming up a week from this next weekend. So look it up. You can go to fe2018.com. That's it. Thanks for everybody that called in. I don't know if I'll be here next week. No, I won't be here next week because I will be flying. So see you next time. Same flat time, same flat channel, but not for a few weeks.
It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States.